Olajumoke Olatunji. House of Representatives ask federal government to suspend the implementation of Samoa agreements. And tonight our focus is on the agitations for the creation of more states, and I'll be speaking with Oita Oana, as a lawyer and also a Nyoma activist. Welcome to Politics Tonight, everyone. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you very much for staying with us. The agitation for the creation of more states in the southeast part of the country has taken center stage as a bill seeking the creation of an additional state in the southeast geopolitical zone of Nigeria has passed its first reading at the House of Representatives. The state, if created, will be known as Olu State, with its capital in Olu. And in another development, a bill to create a Etiti State has been introduced on the floor of the House of Representatives and passed for first reading. In the House of Representatives, 5 members from the southeast proposed the creation of a Etiti State to be carved out of the present Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states. The Constitutional Alteration Bill seeks to carve out a new state from the 5 southeast states of Abia State, Enugu, Anambra, Ebonyi, and Imo. And that's not all. The leadership of the Ukwe Anyoma Progressive Association has given their support to Senator Ned Nwoko, who represents Delta North Senatorial District in the National Assembly, over the creation of Anyoma states as the 6th state of the southeast geopolitical zone. Senator Nwoko's bill seeks to alter 3 sections of the 1999 Constitution to delete the word 36 and replace it with the word 37 to accommodate the new state, and to insert the word Anyoma immediately after Delta State in the list of states contained in the Constitution. Senator Nwoko says the proposed Anyoma state would encompass the local government areas of Anyocha North, Anyocha South, Ika Northeast, Ika South, Ndokwa East, Ndokwa West, Oshimili North, Oshimili South, and Ukwani, with Asaba designated as the state capital. He also explained that he was presenting a bill for the creation of this state to correct what he described as a historical oversight. And according to him, Anyoma is composed of 9 local government areas, 6 of which are rich in oil and gas resources. So tonight, let's speak with Oita Oana, a legal practitioner who's also making a case for the Anyoma state. Barrister, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Right, so let's start from the basics. Talk to us, why are you agitating for the creation of Anyoma state?
Truth be told, it's not me, Tony, Osita Tadema Namaka Ogana, that is agitating. No, far from it. It is our ancestors, beginning from Chief Dennis of Sadebe, the first premier of the Midwest region, that started this agitation since 1951. I was not even born at the time. I doubt if my parents had even met at the time. My late parents had even met at the time. So it is not me agitating it. It was Osadebe that started it. It was supported by Dafe from the Ukwani end. It was supported by George Orewa from the Ika end. And of course, he was Yojiba of Asaba, a very high-ranking title. So that means he also had the support of Anyocha Oshimili. So Anyocha wants Anyoma State, Oshimili wants Anyoma State, Ika wants Anyoma State, Ukwane wants Anyoma State, Ndokwa wants Anyoma State. We are together in this quest. Okay. And it's the oldest demand in Nigeria, the oldest request that has gone through all the processes, but yet have not been created. So it is not me as a person that wants the state. It is not Ned Nwoko as a person that wants the state. It is the collective of the Anyoma people that want the state.
So why are these communities agitating for the creation of Anyoma state?
Fine question. Because in Delta State as it is today, you have the Robos, they are homogeneous. You have the Jaws, they are homogeneous. And you have the sprinkling. You have some Shekiri people. They are homogeneous, but they trace their origin to the southwest. The Anyoma people, some of us trace our origin to Igbo land. The bulk of us trace our origin to Igbo land. The rest trace it to Benin. A few others, like people from Asaba, trace it to Igala land. But there's something common to all of us. The Igbo blood, the Igbo culture, Igbo values, the mores, the 4 market days of Nkwo, Eke, Ole, and Afo. The red cap, the red beads put for your neck and for your hand, for title chiefs, for royal princes. So all we are saying is, since we all have a common heritage, we all have a common goal, we all have common values and aspirations, we want to be the state created, not out of the southeast, I beg your pardon, because we are not in the southeast, we are in the south-south, but created out of the south-south for the Igbo nation. For the Igbo nation. Because Nigeria has 6 zones. The Northwest has 7 states. Every other zone in Nigeria has 6 states, except the Southeast that has only 5. So that's why we are saying that since our president, our leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, now wants to carry everybody along, he wants to carry the Yorubas along, wants to carry the Middle Belt along, wants to carry the Igbo nation along. There's talk now, heightened frenzy and talk for the impending release of Nnamdi Kanu, and Yoma support it. We are saying that he should use this opportunity to placate the Igbo nation, and not necessarily the Southeast, the Igbo nation. Because as a past spokesman of Ohanese, I know that Igbos exist majorly in the southeast of Abia State, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo.
So thankfully you've gone there.
Hold on. Let me just add it, and then I'll answer to you. And Igbos exist in River State and also in Delta State. So it is these 7 states that make up the Ohanese, the umbrella body. So you might take me off from there.
So thankfully you went there, because I was going to ask you some fundamental questions on the reality of the proposed bill, because the sentiment out there is that the agitators wanted the creation of Anyoma states from the southeast. So let's come back, and I think you've clarified that, but you may need to also say more on that. So does it mean Anyoma will be out of Delta states? Where will Anyoma states be located? Because if the idea is to bring together Igbo-speaking parts of Delta states, some have also said it's bringing Igbo communities outside the southeast back to their kindred, because also there are Igbos in Edo states, there are Igbos in Cross River, there are Igbos in River states. So where will Anyoma states be located? Help us with that, with some clarification there.
As a lawyer, I'm probably in the best position to answer that question. Section 3 of the Nigerian Constitution talks about Nigeria being a federation of 36 states. Zones are not mentioned. The 36 states are enumerated. Then if you go to towards the end of the Constitution, the local governments are enumerated. Revenue sharing in Nigeria is based on states and local government. It is not based on zones. Indeed, zonal structures, the word zones, it's not even mentioned in the Constitution. It was my late brother, our late vice president, chief, doctor, architect, barrister, Ifeanyi, I'm correct, Ekweme of Oko, the vice president of National Shagari, that introduced zones, 6 zones, merely as an administrative tool for convenience. It is not mentioned in the Constitution. So we are now saying, Anyoma, that give us the state. You can put it in space. You will not travel to the space. You can even put us in North Central. We have relations there. You can put us even in Southwest. That's where we're coming from, Western region. Before the plebiscite that created Bendel State. So we're used to it. I speak perfect Yoruba, for example. You can even take us to the Southeast. My brothers and sisters are there. If you like, you can even leave us in the South-South. We are there now. So we're not strangers. Then what we are saying is that since the idea is to placate the Igbo nation, not the Southeast, the Igbo nation, which goes beyond the Southeast. There are Igbos, like you rightly mentioned, even in Edo State, the Bankers, they are part of the Carnation. There are Igbos in Rivers, the Ikwedes. There are Igbos in Delta, the Anyoma people. So we should look at Anyoma as a state being created to placate the Igbos and not necessarily any of the zones in Nigeria. We should take a holistic view.
So let's get that. So what you're saying now is that the creation of an Nyoma state should be the 7 states of the South-South geopolitical zone. Is that what you're saying? Because, I mean, before now...
I am saying, no, sorry to interject. I am saying, give us an Nyoma. Anyoma, can you show?
So kindly hold on, Mr. Organa.
I'll explain it.
Because
people are saying, give us Anyoma. We don't want to be bogged down with this zonal thing. It's not in the Constitution. It's not a creation of the Constitution. Give us our zone. For convenience sake, zone us to the southeast. So you now have 6 states in the southeast, 6 states in the south-south, 6 states in the southwest, 6 states in the north-central, 6 states in the northeast, and normally, but that's the fact of life, 7 states in the northwest. So when it's now time to create a 7-state round to make all of us even, by all means, create that 7 states for the Igbos in the southeast.
So this agitation is not for this time. You're agitating for the future. Is that it?
We're agitating for now. Give it to us now in the southeast.
So, because many Nigerians are wondering if the timing is actually right, considering the number of issues confronting the country at the moment. You think the timing is right?
The timing cannot be more perfect. Let me explain. States are not created for spirits. They are created for Nigerians. First of all, every state has 3 senators. You have 3 senators from Anyoma, 1 representing Anachal Shimli, 1 representing Ndokwa, 1 representing Eka. You have numerous House of Reps people. We already have a standard world-class secretariat in Asaba, so you don't need to build another one. When it comes to human resources, my people are very, very educated. But you, of course, because you are going to create new ministries, you have to employ more people. You'll be solving the unemployment problem. You'll be giving contracts. You'll be making appointments for commissioners, for permanent secretaries. People will rise in the civil service. You'll be employing more people in the civil service. And we are Nigerians. We're not from the sky. We are Nigerians. So, in one fell swoop, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not only have written his name in gold, but will have solved all this problem. And there's something peculiar to we and Nyoma people. Let me tell you what's peculiar to us. Even though we are Igbos, we know how to show our gratitude. When it's time in 2027, watch and see what Nyoma will say if we get our state now. I won't say anything more than that.
But I'm sure you're not hearing this,
now,
Mr. Organa.
Asiwaju should give us the state.
Okay. But I'm sure you're not hearing this for the first time, because the other agitators say agitation for the creation of a Nyoma state is a distraction to Southeasterners and the South-South. They say, I mean, this is what they say, you guys are not Igbo enough. I don't know what that means, but that's the sentiment. They say during election, you guys are South-South, and after election, you guys say you are Igbos, and that any additional states that must be created now must come from the Southeast. How do you react to that?
Like I said before, I say it again. It is now the Igbos have to realize that they are at a crossroads. If my Southeast brothers don't accept Nyoma, I don't think they will send it to it. Because when it comes to referendum and plebiscite, it's the people of Nyoma that will say, we want a state or we don't want a state. It's only one question to be asked. Do you want Nyoma state, yes or no? Nobody's going to say, do you want approval of the Southeast? Do you want to go to this zone? Do you want to go to the sky? Do you want to go to the moon? Mba. You know, only one question. And the question is, do you want a state? I am sure 95% of Nyoma people will say yes. But of course, in every movement, there are spoilers. Some people have been benefiting and eating out of our injustice. So those people will feel rattled. Over bound, you want to take food from us. Mba, we don't go agree. But deep down, I've even mentioned it, and distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko, and even before Ned, our late representative, Nosike Ikpo of Ibuzo, was a senator as well. Even Godwin Ndudi Lumelu, our representatives, out of rest person, have all said, give us Nyoma. This is not a Ned Nwoko thing. People should not personalize it. I have my differences with Ned. We all do. For example, his wives are very beautiful. I'm jealous. And many of us are jealous. The man has 2 private jets. I don't even have one. And many of us don't have any private jets. So we have enough reasons to hate Ned Nwoko. We know that. He's blessed. He's wealthy. You can trace his wealth from Paris Club. He's not a 419 Yahoo person. No. He's legitimate as legitimate come. So because he's the one that's the current champion, people are throwing stones at him. But they should forget the messenger and focus on the message. And the message is placate the Igbo nation and not necessarily the Southeast.
So how then do you react to Agbo U to have raised an objection? He said Senator Ned Nwoko did not consult with them. You also have Pan Ndokwa Sociocultural Organization, also dissociated from the bill. Ika ethnic nationalities, mostly because of the configuration with Southeast. But I think you made that clarification. Some APC politicians also call this a solo desire and that it requires the consent of all constituent blocks in the district. Do you think this bill should be reworked and that perhaps there's still time for Senator Ned Nwoko to open his door for wide consultation?
Okay. See, I must say you are very informed for a journalist that's not even from the Igbo nation. I commend your question. One, go and check all those groups. None is registered. Those are faceless people. But they're entitled to their opinion. I agree. I'm a lawyer. I must accept that. Or the alternative pattern. I must hear the other side of the argument. But what they are saying is simply this, that NED should come and consult them. Is animal creation? Did it start with NED? Did their forefathers not sign a document saying that they consent to animal being created? Do you consult on an old issue? It's like somebody coming to meet you now. From your name, I guess you're from the Oduduwa nation. Somebody says, did you consult us? Did you consult us? Something the likes of, God bless his soul, Chief Jeremiah Bafena Wole started. Then somebody wants to revive it now. Then another Yoruba person is saying, come and consult us. You only consult people on a new project. You don't consult on an old, outstanding project that we have all signed into. There are documents. So on those songs, they know who is pushing them. Somebody is paying you. But everybody wants their new nation. And I've told my people from my church who appear to be at the forefront that look, if it means our considering governorship to Ndokwa or even to Ika that has produced governor before, let us concede it to them and get this state. So that from there it will rotate around. Knowing that at any point in time you have an Anyoma governor who will be either from Ndokwa, from Ika, or from another church. And at the same time you have 3 senators. What can be better than that?
Okay, so talking about having an Anyoma governor, let's look at the sustainability of Anyoma states. I mean, we have 36 states and the FCT, and just few of these states are viable. Very few of these state governors take care of their own citizens without depending on federal allocation. Very few of these states can even produce or contribute economically to the growth of this country. So for you, what are the variables on ground for sustainability of the states?
Very easy. Anyoma in the Ndokwa area have the largest cash reserves in Nigeria. What I'm telling you can fact check. 2 of our 9 local governments, you have oil in the 5 states, in the 5 local governments. But that's not even the point because the worldwide trend now it's renewable energy. I mean, everybody has solar or solar. There are inverters everywhere. So if we're not even looking at oil and gas, the most important thing to create wealth is what? Human resource. That is one thing God has given to Anyoma people. Brain. What do we have? Our head correct. We they go school from my area. Look at the lecturers in any university. Look at the professors. Look at the list. Look at the list of top lawyers, top bankers, top engineers, top professionals, even top computer scientists in Nigeria. They are all Anyoma. So we don't even need allocation. But we don't be back to understand Abuja to be taking money. Anyoma doesn't need it. We have enough human resources here. I don't want to go personal, I don't want to drop names. But if for any reason you remove Anyoma from banking in Nigeria, banking will collapse. Let me not say too much. Don't push me to say too much. I don't want to mention it. I don't want to politicize this whole question. But the truth is, Anyoma does not need federal allocation to survive. Our people are used to struggling. We are farmers. We are traders. Our Anambra brothers have now lived in Asaba majorly because of the Southeast mayhem. That in my opinion, I may be wrong, but in my opinion, it's not even from the Southeast. It's imported to make people look bad. So give me my state, give us our state. The people that say they don't want, let them come. We'll give them the first bite of the. We'll give them the first bite of the cherry. We're not fighting our culture. Other people have taken their own. We started this struggle 51 years ago. My late father was part of the struggle. This struggle started since the days of Sadebe. But possibly because of the participation of Nzogu in the coup and Ifajuna in the coup and Yoma people, the state has been delayed. But the war has ended. The war ended in 1970. The policies of reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reconciliation should get to the Anyoma nation. Give us our own. So,
I mean, based on some of these objections from some quarters, Mr. Ogana, based on this objection from some quarters, don't you think there's still time for every stakeholder to come to a round table on what exactly the agitators want.
Yes, you are correct. Which is why it has passed the first reading in the Senate and in the House of Reps. Like my other Igbo brothers are looking for their state. Nothing wrong with dialogue. It's the parliament. Eventually, we will vote. And I keep saying, nobody's going to ask you which zone you want to be in. People stop being illiterate. They are only going to ask one question. Do you want animal state? Yes or no? I want animal state. Or no, I don't want animal state. Nobody's going to even ask you for reasons. Simple and clear. That's the position. And we think as Suaju should do this to lower the political tension. He should release Nnamdi Kanu. Anyoma will be happy. Anambra will be happy. Abia will be happy. Ebonyi, Enugu, Rivers. Can you imagine the tension in Rivers now? If Kanu is released, wallahi.
So let's not shift attention. Let's not shift focus, because you've told me you don't want to talk about national politics. So let's focus.
Yeah.
Now you've constantly talked about.
I'm talking about the bonus.
You've constantly talked about marginalization. Do you think the creation of this new state will correct that historical error in regards to fair representation and resource allocation to the region?
My dear, it will, because you will now have not only a governor and 3 senators coming from Anyama, you will have a minister for Anyama extraction. The only time we had a minister of late of Anyama extraction was when Chief Dr. Ibe Kachuku was minister. And his record is there. That is a typical Anyama man. Scandal free. You can say it, everybody knows. That is how my people are. My people are not greedy. We want to serve. So we want the imbalance solved. If you create Anyama, you will have not only settled Anyama people, you will have settled the Igbo nation. Because the question now is the 6th state for the Southeast. That should be ringing everybody's ears. 6 states for the Igbo nation. Igbo no fair placate. It's not time for my Delta brothers to be agitating for their own.
All right, a few seconds. We have very few seconds, Mr. Oana.
Yes, what is it?
We have very few seconds to go. So let's talk about Southeast politics, and especially unity of purpose among the Southeast governors. At what point will the region or the people experience a paradigm shift or total commitment to regional cohesion to surmount the challenges facing the region?
My dear, every region has challenges. Let's rewind back. Why did the First Republic collapse, amongst many other things? Because of the wahala between Akintola and Wole. Every region has issues. Look at the North, Sadama, they have issues. The Igbo nation is not different. Even in a family, if you come to my family now, there's war. Some people say no, some people say yes. Every family has disagreements. Even from the Bible, the 12 disciples, Jesus Christ brought out. You see a betrayer at least. So if you can have disagreement at that level, why won't you not have a betrayal of millions of intelligent and resourceful people in Igbo? Everybody can go the same way. So that's why we are begging now for this state. This state to make everybody say, okay, it's true. APC is not that bad, oh. It's APC that gave us state, oh. It's APC that placated the Igbo nation, oh. That's what I'm making. So it's a win-win-win.
All right. Mr. Oana, I mean, this is an ongoing development, and we will continue to monitor this development. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I've been speaking with Oita Oana, a legal practitioner who's also making a case for the Anyoma state. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at midnight. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG. You can also use the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone.
Keep up with innovative, revealing, and groundbreaking happenings in the world of brands and brand builders in Nigeria and across the globe. Mingle with people and brands that make the cut and the personalities that keep reinventing the trends and traditions in the marketing world. All are exciting one-stop shop for marketing buffs. Marketing Edge on TV. You are always right on time with the right people and movers and shakers of the world of marketing as they share their views and ideas on the business and challenges of advertising, corporate affairs, media strategy, and the unfolding exciting world of digital marketing. Join the trendsetters and key decision makers as they shape opinions and project into the future of the marketing landscape for 30 exhilarating minutes on this channel. Stay ahead, be thrilled to beat, be marketing savvy with Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Akiwande Oluwole Soyinka was born on 13th July 1934 in Abeokuta, Nigeria to parents Samuel and Grace Soyinka. His education began with the Christian lessons of his parents as well as the more traditional Yoruba spiritual customs taught to him by his grandfather. He had his preparatory university studies at Government College Ibadan in 1954, subsequently University College Ibadan, and he continued at the University of Leeds, earned a bachelor's degree in English literature. Soyinka's master's degree focused on projects combining his Yoruba culture with traditional British theatre traditions. He later returned to school in Nigeria to study African theatre, during which time he continued to produce poems and plays, one of which appeared on Nigerian television. Shortly after, he became the chief of the Cathedral of Drama at the University of Ibadan. Nigeria had only recently gained independence from Britain and political corruption was at a high. Soyinka's plays and poems became increasingly political and he began giving speeches protesting government corruption. He was accused of conspiring with the Biafra rebels. He was therefore arrested and imprisoned in 1967 for almost 2 years during the Civil War, but managed during his time to write numerous poems. He was finally released in 1969 after a brief period in France. He returned to his position at the university where he founded the magazine Black Orpheus. He left his position and Nigeria in 1971, wary of the political climate of the country. During this time, he published books of poetry and essays. His plays were collected and published, and newer plays were staged. In 1986, he was the first African to win the Nobel Prize in Literature for a wide cultural perspective and with poetic overtones fashioning the drama of existence. He dedicated his acceptance speech to Nelson Mandela and used the platform to criticize apartheid. Later that same year, Soyinka was awarded the Ajib Prize and in 1988 published his book Mandela's Earth and other poems as well as art, dialogue, and outrage, essays on literature and culture. He also accepted a position at Cornell University. Throughout his life, he has served as a spokesman against apartheid and government corruption. He has won numerous other awards for his work, including the Anisfield Wolf Book Award, the Academy of Achievement Golden Plate Award, and the Ajib Prize for Literature. And he has taught at many prestigious universities, including Emory University, Harvard, and Obafemi Awolowo University. In his lifetime, Soyinka has published 2 novels, 3 collections of short stories,